Hello, and welcome to Sci-Fi Vision for December 8th. We're going to be talking about the second episode of The Artist tonight. And if you're not already a member of our Discord, please join it. I just posted the link in the chat. I'm going to pin it there. Because we have our watch parties, obviously, before the live stream like we did tonight. So yeah, make sure next week at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, you can join us while we watch the third episode of The Artist, followed by, of course, our live stream at 11. Please, like the video, subscribe to SciFi Vision. It's always appreciated. But we're here tonight for The Artist. Hi, Scarlet.
Hello.
Welcome. So I know you weren't watching it with me at the watch party, but what did you think of this episode?
I don't know, because I feel like it could have been cut down a little bit because I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. That's honest.
I mean, I feel like it was very shouty. I could actually listen. There's so much narration that I could walk into the other room and not miss anything. There's a lot of narration.
That's true. There is a lot of narration, and there is a lot of shouting and swearing, and that won't go anywhere anytime soon.
Oh, okay. So that's just the feel.
Yeah, no, that's the feel. I don't know. I've said before, I like this show because it's different, it's unique, but I don't really, when I try to describe it to somebody, I was talking earlier to Kimberly about it. She said it's satire, and it is satire, but it's hard to describe the tone because I don't know. It's like if it was scary, I'd be saying it's like a dark comedy, but it's not. It's not horror or anything, so it's not really dark, but it's kind of got that weird, quirky tone, I guess, is what it makes me think of shows that have that tone, even though it's not dark like that. That's what it makes me think of. But I don't know. I just think it's funny, and I think it gets better as it goes. Like I said last week, it does start out a little bit slow. You kind of got to get into everything, but I don't know. I like how it's kind of a mix of real historical things, people, but it's clearly not history with the way the story is going. But yeah, it's different. That's for sure.
I could see Edison stealing the light bulb from somebody.
Yeah, well, I think if you've seen anything about Edison, you probably saw that coming. But I know I definitely did. But I don't know. I like how they did it. I think it worked out, and it's true because if it did really happen, women wouldn't get to be able to, invent things back then and be listened to. Hey, Dieter, welcome. But yeah, it's a quirky little show. And for anybody, I'm assuming already know this, but we have next week, we'll have the third episode, but then the 4th, 5th, 6th, and I believe 7th, I think there's 7 of them, all air on Christmas Day, the second half of them. So
it's a popular time to air stuff.
It is. Yeah. We talked about that last time. I don't know what's up with the holidays and stuff, but who knows? Yeah. But it's all good. So yeah, but I believe, like I said, I'm pretty sure there's 7 and they're dropping them just in the 2 batches. So yeah, that's on Christmas Day, but we will continue to, do it week by week, and we scheduled it this way. So that way we're done before the Christmas ones with the first 3. But, as I said before, I'm waiting to talk about the next one. The next one's a little crazy, but we'll get to that next time. All right, let me go through the pictures here. So we get a lot of flashbacks with, hold on, give me 1 second. I gotta get my thing up here. I do not have it up. I thought I did. Give me 1 second.
What's your thing?
My internet is not cooperating. No, I need my list up and it's not, it went to the wrong page. Sorry about that. All right, there we go. All right. So we get a lot of flashbacks in this episode, specifically with Marion and Edison. And this is about when she got to the college and was really excited to participate, but no one wanted to help her when she tries to talk to the men that are there because they don't want her there. She's a woman. And which is not surprising.
This still kind of says a lot here.
Yeah, it does. It does. This whole scene does. Hold on, I got to turn my volume up. but yeah, they did not want women in school and things like that at that time because women were meant to, be at home, and they won't even help her find her class. But this is where Thomas Edison comes up, supposed to be a young Thomas Edison, and yeah, expresses the fact that there's going to be more women getting into colleges and things like that, and that they're already smart, and kind of that people need to watch out for him. And whether he says it to be, flirtatious, I don't know. He seems to believe it at the time, which I kind of question.
Yeah, I thought he believed in it so he could have students to have sex with.
Well, that too, but also he stole all her work too. So it makes me think that I don't think he legitimately believes what he's saying here. But he's at least makes her feel that he does. And I think it's funny though, because Marion's talking about it later in the episode, like saying that part of the reason why she's so upset is that it's her fault. And it kind of is her fault. I mean, not in a, I'm trying to say this the right way and make it come out right. Because I'm a woman, Jamie. Yeah, because I'm afraid about how I say this, it's going to come out in a really bad way. She she let him, I'm not saying it was her fault because she was with him or anything. I don't mean it like that. But whenever he finds her papers, like, she doesn't seem to stop it. She just kind of lets him continue reading her. I mean, it was implied. She lets him continue reading her papers and things like that. I don't know if it's just because she trusted him or just because she wanted to keep sleeping with him. I don't know. But
still not her fault.
No, it's not. I don't mean it's her. I don't mean it's her fault that he stole it. Clearly, that's not her fault. I mean that she let him see it, and she didn't even at the beginning be like she started to say no, and then she kind of like didn't do anything about it. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Because I feel like the more I say, the deeper hole I'm digging, and it doesn't sound.
Make sure you keep your notes away when you're lovemaking. Keep them far away from it.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, she should have pulled them away and known better in a way. But I guess the truth is that
what you're saying, Jamie, is that she shouldn't have gone to college in the first place.
No, she should have gone to college.
She should have gone to college because then he wouldn't have stole her stuff.
She should have kept her notes to herself. Let's put it that way.
Stayed in the home.
No, but look, the point is, she is supposed to be naive, and I mean, hindsight's 20/20, and I can say that as a woman in the present.
We didn't know sleeping with your teachers was wrong.
Yeah, sleeping. That's the other thing too. Sleeping with the teacher's assistant is wrong. There's that.
I didn't know, nobody done it yet.
That's true. That's true. If she's the first woman there, I guess you're. Well, no, that's not entirely true. There could have been men there doing it.
Well,
but
sure, in Greek schools there was probably a lot of guy on guy action.
Yeah.
So,
but
you had a relationship with your mentor.
Wait, there we go. Hold on one second. I gotta fix my speaker. It was really low on the computer and I can't hear a lot of it there. That's better. But yeah, I mean, I can say that now as like a modern woman. I wouldn't, if somebody took an interest in my work, I think I'd be like, no, but I can see how she does it. So it's not really her fault. I guess I'm just saying I can understand how she blames herself is maybe a better way.
But maybe also a professor came on to you and it'd be like, oh, let's go have sex. And then
he wasn't a professor. He was a teacher's assistant. So he's not really a professor.
Oh, he's a teacher's assistant?
Yeah, because she says something like later.
You're watching this show a lot closer than I am.
No, she says something like I forget exactly what she says.
TA.
Yeah, she says something like that he doesn't even have a place there. He's just and then she says whatever it is, and I took it that it meant like a teacher's assistant. Hold on, I'm trying to get this open so I can write down. I'm going to take pills again. I feel like every time I'm on this phone, people think I'm like a druggie. I'm always taking pills when I'm doing
this. You
gotta
take your pills, man.
No, it's just I'll be doing okay, and then I get on, and my headache gets worse again. My migraine is really bad. I'm going tomorrow morning. I'm getting an MRI, finding out if it's just normal migraine. Hopefully, I'll find out just migraines, but I don't know. I start doing this, and like that occipital nerve starts bothering me too, and it's just like not helpful. But whoops. Just always make sure I write that down. But anyway, hey Doc, welcome. But yeah, anyway, they are sleeping together, and she's letting him read her papers, and she's totally into him and doesn't see it, and I guess she's a bit naive, and that's sort of, I guess what I was saying and picking up on is she is being naive, but I can understand why, like the way she's acting. It's just in hindsight, it's kind of like you want to be like, don't let him see, because it's coming, right? So
Yeah. Well, I'm not a victim blamer, so.
no, I know. I said I should have wanted different.
You just keep walking into it. We'll go on.
Oh God, yeah, no, it's
Well,
not her fault.
you should have your notes of danger as close to the fireplace as well.
Yeah, right. Throw them into the fireplace.
You're right.
Yeah, throw them in. Then they can't. He can't steal them, right?
Oh, I just meant they might catch on fire. With your passionate lovemaking.
True. But there he is looking at us, and I guess that's the difference too. Is I feel like the way you would react to things now is a lot different than they react to things then. So like I'm looking at it through a more modern lens. And back then, really, I mean, even if she had tried to stop him, like, would it have mattered is the other question. Because I say that, but I don't think that it would have mattered, because she could have went in and screamed at him and embarrassed him in the class, but people would have just believed him and shunned her. I don't think it really would have made a difference.
Or if she went to somebody to college, they've been like, little lady, come on.
Yeah, like we're supposed to believe you came up with that. They would not have believed it anyway. So I don't think it's I shouldn't have said it was her fault. That was the wrong wording. All right. So I don't want to leave up the title too long. As you pointed out, every episode has fuck in the title. So there you go.
This is a very vulgar show.
It is.
And my innocent years, Jamie.
Well, that's why last week when we were saying certain things, I realized that I'm thinking I probably should watch how many things I repeat, because we don't want my YouTube video to get blocked. I already had our other video get blocked on Facebook because we talked about the guy, which we weren't even saying he unalived himself. We were saying he didn't unalive himself. Yeah. But it got deleted off of Facebook. I got a notification it was taken down, and I'm like, really? We're reviewing a TV show. That's not my fault. Yeah, really. I can't even wear glasses, Dieter. I because you're saying that, I'm thinking like I cannot wear any glasses. I have glasses, but I only wear contacts because I can't. I get like just in my temples. I get such bad pressure headaches. I can't even wear any glasses. So I don't know. I had never heard of special glasses other than to filter out the computer light would maybe help me. But yeah, I can't wear any glasses. I can't wear sunglasses. It sucks. I hate that, but it's been like that for years. So anyway, we go back to the present, and Marion and Norman are having it out. He is mad. Now I can say this is his fault, where he punched Edison and is mad at her for what he did, which I think is really, really funny.
But there wasn't a reason they had to replay all this, because this is like, it was a really long, part of the other scene. I didn't really understand why they had to replay it all.
Probably just as kind of like a recap. I mean, we didn't get a recap at the beginning. That's the only thing I can really think. I don't know.
Okay.
Hold on one second.
I didn't know if it was to see like some other thing that I hadn't seen before, but it does seem to be kind of like a rehash.
Yeah, it's definitely a rehash, and I think it's just probably to catch up if you missed it and to get you kind of back into that scene. But I don't know. I just think it's really funny because, like I said, he's blaming her when he's the one that punched him in the face, which I find hilarious. And he's like, basically keep saying, what did you do? Yeah, thanks, B. Yeah, they do. They suck very bad, which is also why I'm so behind on everything. I still have artist interviews to put up. I still have a few I haven't even gotten up. Now that I got the computer back, I need to get my ass in gear and get them up. But every time I go to do it, I'm like hurting, and I haven't gotten that far. But yeah, he's pissed at her for himself punching Edison. And then we have the artist here on the stairs, which I'll try to remember to say the artist instead of Degas. I say Degas. I did last time through it, but they don't know that yet. So we'll just go with the artist. And he's yelling at them because he wants his room, and he just comes off as like a drunk, right? That's kind of in the way, and nobody knows what to think of. Marion thinks for some reason that he's a murderer or something. I forget, the boxer told her that or something. And so she's a little questioning that he's yelling down the stairs. They're just busy paying attention to Edison there, who's been knocked out cold on the floor.
I still thought he might be dead.
I don't think he could be. Well, I guess you could be dead from a punch, but probably not from a normal punch. But she's kind of making fun of the fact that he knocked him out, I think. But there's where they all see him leaning over the stairs yelling, and they've all got this look like, what the hell is it now?
Your stills are good.
Thank you. Yes, they came out pretty good.
It shows the emotion of the thing.
Yeah, I just wish the audio wasn't out of sync. I don't know why. I had a hard time getting the audio for whatever reason. It keeps being out of sync unless I watch it on the website.
That's weird. You try watching on the app?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I finally watched it off of the actual website for the network, and then it worked. Well, the only thing I can say, Dieter, is I was saying, I think I said this last week, I had gotten now I guess it's been about 2 weeks. I got a big, I keep digressing to talk about my headache. Sorry. I got a big needle shoved in the back of my head. It didn't hurt as bad this time when they did it. I don't think the woman went deep enough. I think that's why it didn't really work. But it's supposed to be a nerve blocker that's supposed to like numb that nerve in the back of your head. And it didn't work very well because I get like occipital nerve pain and then migraines. It's like 2 different types of headaches. It's really a pain in the butt. Here, give me 1 second. I gotta turn this off.
Why is zero Diet Coke bad?
Because it might be the kind of it's probably the kind of fake sugar that's in it. I think you're not supposed to have like not NutraSweet, but the other stuff that's
like Splenda or something.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. I think, which I don't have, so I don't take. So, but yeah, so I don't know. Sometimes I think I take too many Excedrin and Advil and stuff. It's not.
Or aspartame. Aspartame, maybe.
Yes, aspartame. I think that is that. And I think I take too many of the over-the-counter pain medicine. But it's like when you're in really bad pain, you don't really have a choice. She gave me some Nurtec to try, but she kind of said that the medicine for the frontal migraines can make that pain worse. So that's fun. It's like, do I take it to get rid of the one pain to make the other pain worse? Whoops, turn that off. So I'm laughing about it, but at the same time, it's not funny. It's really not funny because it really hurts. But yeah, hopefully I'll find out tomorrow that it is just migraines and sinus problems. But I am, like I said, I am getting an MRI to make sure. But that's, so I can't stay super late. I do got to get up early for that. I got to remember that. All right. So they are, or he is, I should say, is ringing his little bell, trying to get the doctor to come in and freaking out.
I like that you got the feet in the shot too. That's nice.
I didn't even notice that. You're right. Yeah. I mean, these bells are kind of like a kind of like an old school system, like they have in
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey, but like not even as good because they're just on like cords that go outside.
Yeah, but Downton Abbey doesn't have all its help sleeping in tents outside either.
No, they don't. This is not. And I don't know if that's because he really doesn't have the money that he purports to have, or if it's just the way it is in that area. I don't know, because this is all supposed to be during the Gilded Age. But yeah, the fact they're intense is a little bizarre. But he's flipping out, trying to get the doctor to come in, and the doctor isn't listening and isn't coming in fast enough for his for what he wants. And then let's see, there is also the part with Lily talking to him, and I do not ever remember his name. Do you remember what his name is? I just want to say the guy. I thought I should say the name, and I don't even see his name. Hold on, I'm looking at the cast list trying to find it.
I only can see the back of his head too, which does not help.
That doesn't help. Marius. His name's Marius. I think that's him, yeah. So she is, I'm trying to look at my pictures and my notes here at the same time. This is where she's talking to him. She's upset. Yeah, this sounds though like when she walks out. So I'm not sure if this is from this scene or not, but she is later upset because he had called her a whore, and she's saying that she's not even getting paid for this. She's upset because he said that. She's not even that, and she's making it like she's okay with it, but she's clearly not, and she's not happy. But she still wants to go back to Paris, as she says, and thinks that she's not. Well, she thinks she's not good enough, but we know as viewers that it's really because he doesn't have the money to send her there anyway, Norman, and is just pretending that he's got money he doesn't have. And there he is, still screaming. And there's Edison with his eyes kind of rolled back in his head. All right, so they finally get the doctor. Hold on. And Norman.
I like this maid. Look on this maid's face. You've got some good stills here.
Yeah, she's like, what? Yeah, I'm surprised they don't kick the maids out, but I guess they're there if they need anything, because God forbid they do anything themselves, right? You might need her to go do something. But he's Edison is telling him that he's going to sue him and kind of all these things because he's pissed because he knocked him out. But I don't think it wasn't 100% clear if he's more, I'm not sure if he's just more mad for what Marion said or if he actually thinks Marion hit him. Because I was kind of under the impression, I don't think he even knows that Norman's the one that knocked him out, because all he does is keeps talking about Marion. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. And I don't know that it matters one way or another, but what he's mad about, Norman realizes, is he's mad the way Marion's been talking to him and, kind of throwing his name through the mud, which is really because, well, he stole her work and he doesn't want anybody to know about it. So he starts saying, oh, I'm going to sue you for libel and all this. And, Norman keeps telling him, oh, I'm going to write you a check for everything, but because he came all that way. But that's not what he wants. He wants Marion to apologize. And of course, Norman's like, yeah, she'll apologize. And I know I was thinking, no, she ain't going to apologize. I don't think you should speak for her there, buddy. No. But he's telling him that he will get her to apologize. And yeah, that's really all he wants. He wants her to, I don't know if he's trying to still make her kind of feel small, or he's embarrassed and he doesn't want to be looked down upon, and he doesn't want anybody to know the truth, which is why sometimes I wish she would just outright, talk about what happened, and she kind of hedges around it. And I think that has to do with the time. And, he's a man and she's a woman, and she probably is like afraid to, I don't know, go all out, because she doesn't outright keep saying, oh, you stole it. Oh, you stole it. She kind of, I think she wants him to admit it, which is part of it. And obviously he's not going to admit what he did.
He wondered why he came over there in the first place.
Well, he was trying to sell him that, and I don't have the picture with me now, so I don't remember what it was called, but that moving picture thing that he had, the reel.
Yeah, I know, but he wants to stir the pot then.
Oh, you mean why
sold it to somebody else?
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Do you think that he knew that she was married to him? He may not have known that.
Or he still has the hots for her in some kind of really strange way.
Yeah, I kind of think he maybe looks at her like the one that got away, but I don't know if I'm not 100% sure that he knew she was married to him. I can't remember if they've said if they've seen each other before. Like, they aren't really friends that he's hung out with this guy to necessarily know this. Yeah, it does seem like if he didn't want people to know, maybe he wouldn't go there. But
little notes, little research before on the people that you're going to sell your kinescope to.
Oh, maybe he's more interested in the money. Who knows? But he just wants her to apologize. And I remember thinking that's not going to happen. At least not if she has anything to say about it, right? She is pissed off. She is very pissed off, and she's going to be even more pissed off at her husband if he tries to force her to. That's for sure. Wait. B's talking about a lamp. Let's see. Where's the lamp? This lamp? He says her grandmother had a lamp like that. That's a pretty lamp.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like it's porcelain. It looks like it's hand painted porcelain. I mean, who knows if it is, but it looks like it. It's cool. Very nice. Very nice.
Now she has to deal with that invention being in her house every day. The candle
Yeah.
that extinguishes itself.
Yeah.
Every
it's
time
pretty
she turns on a lamp.
less than he can think about it. Hey, maybe she, I was going to say Marion. I'm surprised Marion hasn't smashed it on him.
She has
But
no
yeah,
lamps in the house. She's like, no lamps in the house.
no
light
lamps in the
bulbs.
house.
No
Yeah.
light bulbs.
I can, oh, that's even true. I didn't even think about that. You would think they wouldn't have the light bulbs because that's kind of a big.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there, there was comments made earlier in the first episode about how like they're the only house around there that has electricity, which I don't know if I want to say that's irony, because obviously
Yes,
it's
it
not
is.
like she can make her own light bulbs and stuff. I mean, she still would have to be getting them from where everybody else gets them. But yeah, I kind of wonder that she isn't like really adverse to the to the light bulbs after what
Bitter.
happened. Bitter. She should be very,
Every
very
time
bitter.
she touches a switch, she's bitter.
Yeah. All right. So Lily here is writing to her mother again that she's never coming back to Petty and her world is shattered and she feels so alone and she's really upset because she wants to come home. I guess she can't travel at all and has no way to get there unless she's supported by him. I don't understand how a lot of this stuff worked back then, but he's like her patron, I guess. And so she's living with him. And if she wants to do anything, he has to pay for it, I guess. I'm kind of surprised that his wife puts up with that. But at the same time, and I think we talked about this last week, I don't know that his wife, I get the feeling that his wife kind of doesn't necessarily want to be with him. So maybe it's like kind of
doesn't really care. This is a distraction for her husband.
Certain times. I mean, not at all, but I mean, she seems to be fed up with her husband. So maybe this isn't necessarily a bad thing to her all the time.
That's what I said. I thought the ballerina was for him and the boxer was for her.
Yeah, well, I don't get the opinion from it that she's like sleeping with the boxer, but yeah, the boxer's kind of her stress relief.
Option maybe, an option too, if you wish.
Yeah, an option that is there. So then we have the artist here who is looking out the window while this is all happening. They just kind of keep flipping back and forth. And there's more of Lily getting upset.
Well, she tore up the letter after she wrote it.
Oh yeah, she did. You're right. She tore up the letter. Sorry. So then I love their furniture too. I'm sorry. Now that after looking at the lamp, now I'm like looking at the furniture. That's a nice dresser. It looks like it's got like, I don't know, like amethyst or something on those two drawers. Like they don't look like wood. At those two at the front look different. It might just be the way the light's hitting it, but
yeah.
But her husband is yelling at her through the door. He doesn't even come to talk to her. He yells at her through the door because they do have, separate bedrooms in this story back then. And he's pissed that she messed up his business deal. And and whenever he says something like calls Edison his business deal, she's like, no, he's an ass fucker.
Yeah, yes.
Which was funny and just kind of sums it up there. Thanks for coming, Dieter. But yeah, that pretty much I think sums up what Marion thinks. And this is like, you're right, they yell at each other a lot. They keep screaming at each other, and he's like, does
her husband know anything of her past?
About what happened with them? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think he's totally clueless.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he knows anything. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't think he does. You don't, do you, or do you feel differently?
No, I didn't know if he even knew she went to college. Does he know anything about her?
He knew she went to college. I think he probably, I don't know if she dropped out after that or what. I'm not sure they didn't say. But he's busy telling her, like, we have to put aside our differences because we have to save the Henry name. And I think she's thinking, I don't care. And she says, the truth, like, I owe him nothing. You're the one that punched him. Like it's so, it's funny that he's blaming her and it's totally all his fault. And I was a little confused by this conversation. So, because you're right, he is busy yelling and I didn't rewind it, but he's saying that he thinks she's afraid of an uneducated man, that they should claw themselves out to society without having to marry up. So I do think in this instance he's talking about, and you're saying about her going to college. I think he's saying here that oh, I'm not as smart as you, but I shouldn't have to, appeal to your good nature just for us to get this deal. Is kind of how I took that scene. So, yes, I definitely think he knows she was in college. I don't think he knows she was sleeping with Edison. I definitely don't think that, but
or she invented a light bulb,
or that she invented the light bulb. Yeah, he's clueless on that too. But
she never was one night. She never was like, you know what grinds my gears? I invented a light bulb. She never lets us slip out in the middle of the night.
Yeah, she should. But I don't know that he would have believed her, to be honest, if she told him before.
Yeah.
But he's making this conversation about, an uneducated man in society. And I think he's just like saying, oh, I'm not as smart as you, but I'm important too. And we don't want to screw this up. So yeah, he's trying, I don't know. I mean, I think he's trying to appeal to her, but I also think he's doing a very bad job about it, or a bad job at it.
Agree.
And I love whenever she walks out and he doesn't know she's walked out. Hold on, I picture her walking out. And he's like, I know you're awake. I know you can, I know you can hear me. I know you aren't asleep yet. And like, she's not even in the room. I love that. I have a feeling that they have these kind of conversations a lot, the two of them, while she's not even in the room.
What room is that she's walking into?
I don't know, back out into the hall. Their bedrooms are next door to each other, or across from each other, right? Because they were both standing at the door, and I think they were supposed to be like door to door, so they must be like across from each other or whatever. But she's going down to box and let off some steam. And then meanwhile, we have, I already forgot what I called his name. Marius? Is that what I said his name was? I need to keep this open. I think I said, whoops. Oh, stupid pop-ups. That's so annoying. Marius. Yes, his name is Marius. I lost my picture here. So he yanks her out of the bathtub, the very cold bathtub. Or the cold, not cold bathtub, but cold because it's cold out. And this is where he's like, you think you're the first artist who ever whored herself? Da, 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 da. And he's like, you disgust me. And he's yelling at her and calling her bad words, and says that she thinks that she's better than them, basically. And I don't know. He's just rambling. And he's like, you think you're better than all of us girls? And it's just really funny. But yeah, he is upset. Prima donna. He doesn't want her ruining. I get the opinion from all this. Like, he doesn't want her ruining where he's at, his position. As we said last time, I guess he's like her teacher, I guess. So yeah, he doesn't want her screwing him up. So he's like, he's basically saying you should have to do whatever you can to, to stay in this and don't complain about it. Because she dared to not want to be in that position, and that's pissing him off. And I kind of wish I know, and I get she don't, but I kind of wish she'd like yell back at him a little bit more. But he's like, I had ambition once too. I was reviewed by the Times. That was funny.
Well, you could be a little bit on the defensive when you're naked in a bathtub.
That's a good point. That is a good point. All right. So then we switch to Marion, who is boxing, and we keep switching back once again to the artist, who is, I think this is where he's looking out at the dogs, at the window of the dogs. Let's see. And Marion, okay, we also have Lily crawls into bed with him.
And snuck into the house, and the maid was in there, and the maid said it wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, and she snuck in. I guess that's what that guy intended her to do, so that she gets on his good side. And she's talking about, oh, I hope I'll get to go to Paris and everything. And he just acts like, oh yeah, you'll get to. It's the last thing I do, and he has no money to do it. But we also get the voiceover where Marion says that when you create something, let's see, even if it only lasts for a moment, you believe it to be remarkable, and to have it ripped away without acknowledgement. She talks about feeling rage and bitterness. And this is where she says, but the truth is I could never get past the shame because it was always my fault, all of it. And yeah, she blames herself for what happened because she let him do it.
Mm.
And like I said, I can understand why she feels that way. It's not her fault he stole it, but I don't know. I wish she would have, I don't know, spoken up. But I guess back then they really can't.
But it wouldn't
So
have mattered anyway if she'd spoken
it
up.
wouldn't have mattered anyway. Yeah, I can
Mhm.
understand why she blames herself, but it's not her fault. But so Lily asked him if she's going to go to Paris. Says yes, that she'll be on the stage if that's the last thing he does. And of course, we know he doesn't actually have the money to get her
Mhm.
there. And then there's some more boxing, and then we go to more of the flashbacks. And she says, deep down, I guess she says, we know we're better than the bed. You're better than the bed you've made. So yeah, and I don't know, sometimes I think as she's saying this, like, I know she resents what happened with Edison, but I kind of question too if she resents that she's married to her husband, and if maybe
Yeah.
she feels like she's married down,
Mhm.
because she could have been, I mean, she could have been with Edison, but Edison was a no good cheat. So I'm not sure
Yeah.
that was any better. But yeah, I don't know. I almost wonder if maybe, and I don't know because it's not explained, but when he talks about marrying up and that, I kind of wonder if she had money and he didn't. The
Maybe.
fact that she went to school to begin with
Yeah.
makes me think
Cost a lot of money.
she probably had money. So that might be
Mhm.
part of it. But everybody's yelling, Tommy did it. Tommy did it.
I
And she's
did
like,
it.
he figured out what? And she follows them into the classroom, and he's talking about how using direct current can generate heat. And somebody is beeping me. I don't know. Sorry, I'll read that later.
Okay.
So he lost where was that? So the direct current can generate heat, and she acts like it's this great breakthrough he had. And she doesn't out him. She could because he looks terrified. And she just says she's proud of him and kisses him and then leaves. And I just took that almost like that was a kiss goodbye. And
Mhm.
she's hurt. And I do have to, I guess, give it to her for being classy. But at the same time, I want her to be like,
The only time
I
she's so
want her to
classy
be like,
I've
you
seen.
jackass, you stole my work. And I think that's more what she blames herself for, that she didn't speak up. But yeah,
Mhm.
I don't think anybody would have listened. But she would have embarrassed him and it would have pissed him off. So that would have been cool. But that is, of course, not what happened. Kimberly says that, whoops, wait. I guess let's got B first. That's an interesting place. You're better than the bed you've made. It communicates a lot. Yeah, that's why I said I think she still thinks she's better than her husband when she
Mhm.
says that. Kimberly says, that's my impression. She had money and smarts and that he was uneducated. But I also think, at least when it came to Norman, I'm assuming she fell in love with him. I mean, I think she was in love with Edison too. I don't know how, real her feelings were. We don't know if that was her first boyfriend sleepover. I don't know. We don't know.
Sleepover. We're a sleepover.
Well, I didn't know how to say that. First
I don't
lover.
know,
There, I guess
sleepover.
that's what I couldn't think of the right way to say it. Sleepover. You know what I meant. The first man she's sleeping with. But I think that she thought she was in love with him before
Mhm.
he stole everything from her.
Yes.
But yeah, she is the one that keeps her chin up and walks out and doesn't say anything. And maybe she should have. And I think that's what she questions, that maybe she should have. So then we go back to the present, and her maid comes out, and she asks the maid if she's frightened of her. And she says, the maid eventually, after she prompts her a couple times and yells at her, "Are you afraid of me?" Says that she's not. She just confuses her. Look, she yells a lot. Like you said, they yell a lot. So I could see her being afraid of her.
It's a noisy household.
It is a very noisy household. I'm sure they can see
You
them.
probably never get any sleep, day and night here.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I'm sure they can hear them from outside where they're in their little tents. So then we have the one maid. I don't know if you can see it in the picture, but no, that was a better picture. She's walking the dogs, the two poodles. And the artist here looks out the window and he's like, they're listening. I guess is the point he's making, because he says that they're like being good, which I mean, they're dogs. You can't, necessarily know when they're going to be good.
The
But
nighttime makes them more docile.
I guess so. And she's
Nighttime
on
air.
their evening walk, and he's like, "Are these the poodles I paint?" I can't do an accent, so just take it for what it is. And he says that they seem less fidgety, and she says they're more relaxed in the evening. He's like, he's like, so we will paint. I will paint in the evenings. So that's what he plans. And then he starts to go out. I guess he was running after the dogs. I don't know.
This was before or after he smashed his canvas? Was after? Like he didn't like his canvas?
He probably already smashed his canvas. I probably just didn't get a picture of it. I thought I wrote it in the notes, but I might not have. So that might have been when.
Daytime dogs are no good.
Here it is. Here it is. He said he ruined his canvas before the flashback scene. It was whenever she was saying you're better than the bed you've made.
The daytime dogs.
The daytime dogs are
no good.
Naughty. They are less fidgety at night.
Naughty daytime dog.
I shall paint in the evenings. So that's his idea. He's going to paint the dogs at night, which I'm sure they're going to be real happy with. So then he runs into Marion on the way out. Now, what did you think about this scene? Because she's talking about how he had passion that she hadn't felt in years, and she felt like a woman again. I mean, I think they kind of have a moment when they run into each other, just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely made me think that later something's probably going to happen between the two of them, especially if she's pissed enough.
Yeah, a little fire has started, a little ember.
Well, I think
lying in the fire. And they did not know that, and it was dormant. They thought it was dormant, but no, it lights up.
The artist lights a fire. No, I don't know, but she does say that his passion was palpable, and she hadn't felt it in years. And just for a moment, I felt like a woman.
Oh, I thought she just wanted to kill him.
Well, no, this was before she went in Edison's room. I took it that she meant, because she's talking about his passion as an artist.
Yeah.
I assumed that, I don't know, I kind of took that to mean she was saying that like she liked seeing his passion and it was making her passionate. And yes, it made her, then she talked about being angry and was going to kill Edison, but I think it was more, she just kind of got swept up in it.
Well, I thought it was sexual passion first, but then I thought maybe she just gets enraged when she gets the passion and then she wants to do the murdering.
Yeah, I mean, I think she was passionate, and then I think she went into Edison, and I think maybe for a minute, I kind of wondered if maybe for a minute when she went into Edison,
turns to rage,
thinking about jumping his bones, but instead was like, "I'm going to kill you." Yeah,
so it's like 50-50. It's a coin toss with her. It's like I could be passionate lovemaking, or I could those out murder you. That's what side of the coin it falls.
Yeah, she starts talking to herself, and she's like, "Can anybody hear me if I strangle him?" She's really thinking about it.
Yikes.
The artist is out there playing with the poodles now in the yard, and she's kind of like really thinking about it. And she's thinking about the flashbacks and stuff. And she's whispering to herself, "I don't care about you." She's trying to talk herself into doing it. So she clearly doesn't want to, and still has still has some feelings for him of some kind. And she says, "The truth remained, I didn't hold the power, he did." So she decides not to kill him, or that she doesn't have the power to kill him, whatever. She sits on the floor, and she also has a flashback too of her husband when he was younger. And I don't know. I think it's kind of like, is she regretting some of the choices she's made? I think that's what a lot of this is about. She's thinking about him. And she stays there and she falls asleep. And then it goes to intermission. And I guess the intermission put her to sleep. So she falls asleep.
Did she say it was time for an intermission?
Yeah, she did. She said something. Let me see. Where did it say? She said that she wanted to, she was going to kill him. And she said how history might have been written differently if I hadn't lost myself in him, in both of them. And then she sees her husband in a flashback. Instead, I sat powerless on the floor, and I took like very loosely notes, so it's not exactly word for word. Sat powerless on the floor of the home that's in my husband's name that he can't afford without the proceeds of the man who ruined me, or something to that. And she said that she promised herself she wouldn't wallow, as she wrote. And that's when she's like, we're going to go to intermission, which is just silly. You know what I mean? Like I like it. It fits this show. It's very bizarre. And it starts talking about Madison Square Garden, and it's sort of foreshadowing a little bit what's coming to do with Madison Square Garden and Stafford. What's his first name? What Stafford? Is his name White? Stafford White? I forget exactly. Not Stafford, Stanford, right? God, you know me. I can't remember anybody's name. Stanford, yeah. I think it's Stanford White. I can't. My head hurts too bad to scan through names that quickly, so I'm not very good at finding them. But let's see. I don't want to call it. Whoops. Well, the search isn't bringing it up. Maybe it might not even be in the list. But I think his name was Stanford White. I want to say that sounds right. But the way I remember things, it might not be. Yeah, it's Stanford White. I Googled it. Okay. So anyway, that's foreshadowing what is going to come potentially. But we will know.
I read up on that guy's history.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That part of
him and his wife are crazy. What crazy stories.
You mean Stanford's wife, or you mean Thaw's wife?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Thaw. I'm sorry.
No, Thaw in real life too, I guess, from what I got out of it, kills Stanford.
Is the other guy a real life person? Because there are like a lot of people that are real.
Look, I don't know a lot about history, but I believe that Stanford White, like that he made, designed it or whatever. I don't know if he designed it or made it. Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden, yeah.
Yeah, and that Thaw killed him. I think that part was taken from history.
Yeah.
But I don't think a lot of the other stuff was. I don't know how much of it was. But that isn't really much in this episode. Like we get a little bit of it, but not a whole lot. Yeah, that's more next episode. But it does mention the rooftop cabaret that he had on the roof of Madison Square Garden. So then we get there. I guess I should have just clicked the next picture, right? And then I could have read.
Yeah, perfect, because I said, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking Harry Thaw."
Yeah, no,
and I was thinking Stanford White.
And I should have just looked at it. The crime of the century. And
real though, and scary. These people are scary.
Yeah, and that picture of that woman, it looks like the Bride of Frankenstein. I don't know if that's supposed to be like who that's supposed to be, but that's what it looks like from that angle to me. It makes me think of the Bride of Frankenstein. Anyway, so we see these newspapers and they're talking about this murder. And yeah, that's what we were just talking about. There was a murder at Madison Square Gardens and by Harry Thaw. And she says in the voiceover that these are the unconnected events that would ultimately contribute to her husband's demise. So that's kind of what it's leading into.
This is really well shot. Like that picture, the one you had before, it's really well shot. The light and everything. Yeah, this one, really composed shot. I like the shots. I like the cinematography of the show.
Yeah, it's got really good. I think the whole thing's got good cinematography.
Yeah.
So she wakes up on the floor of Edison's bedroom, that she fell asleep there, and she's got this look like, oh shit, like Scandal. He's gone though. He already left. Yeah. Meanwhile, the artist there is getting attacked by puppy kisses, which is.
I always enjoyed this poodle cut because I never have quite understood why there's balls on the back of the poodle.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I mean, there's got to be some reason for it, right?
I think it's supposed to look fancy, but I don't know. I've never had that kind of poodle, so I don't know.
Well, a lot of times when they trim them, it was for like hunting reasons and other reasons.
Yeah,
to keep birds and stuff out of the material, but on the hindquarters here, I don't know.
I thought it was just supposed to be fancy. I really don't. I don't know. Maybe somebody who knows more about
proves that groomers have a sense of humor.
Yeah. Maybe the groomers thought it was funny, and then it became a thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
So there's Lily sneaking out of the house in the middle of the night, or not in the middle of the night, in the morning, and it doesn't really matter because his wife is asleep in Edison's room, so she didn't know it, so she didn't have to worry. And then this is where Edison is with Norman, and he's talking about
what was in that bowl? Can you go back? What is this? It
looks like jam. I don't
jam.
know.
Okay.
Something. I don't know. It looks like jam of some kind, maybe. But they're talking about this murder, and let's see.
I'm gonna say the lighting is really good in this.
So, sorry. Edison is asking Norman here if Henry, maybe I should say Henry. I call him by his last name, but I keep saying Norman Henry.
Yeah.
He's asking Norman, it's because they're both first names, is asking Norman Henry here if he's ever been to the Madison Square Garden. And he's not being, he's asking him, like, basically saying you're not good enough to have afforded to go there is kind of what he's saying. Because he tells him he's been there, and he's like, but up to the rooftop where the cabaret were, it's a wonderful view of the city. He's like, I said I was there. And he's like, well, you didn't act like it. That's basically what he says. So, but that's why they're talking about it. And then whenever Marion comes down, she says something like Harry Strucker is a man she'd never want to be alone in a room with, and he says something like, yeah, she should never be left unattended in rooms and such. And he's obviously, he knew he woke up, she was in his room. And I don't know. So I'm not sure why he's saying that. If it's just kind of like, I know what you did, or maybe I'll tell your husband if you don't apologize. I'm not even sure what his point was there, other than kind of pointing out the fact she fell asleep there and that it was, untoward that she did that. And she's like, well, no, he murdered somebody. So it's a little worse than that. But this is where she says that Thaw is where'd it go? That Norman is an acquaintance of Thaw's, or Thaw's acquaintance of Norman, same thing. But says that he had a screw loose. And so, yeah, they knew Thaw's. And Edison is basically saying you shouldn't want to be connected to them. Like, you shouldn't tell people you were friends with them. He's like really appalled that they
doesn't
knew
want
them.
to know if he wants to do business and be an acquaintance of an acquaintance of a murderer.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be a friend of a murderer.
Yeah.
But they're saying, oh, but it's troubling. And then this is whenever they show a little clip, which we don't get to see really anything yet, but that's of Madison Square Garden and what happened.
Tease.
Little tease. There she is talking about it. But he gets this letter from Thaw that says, and it shows him writing the letter. There's a clip, flashback there of Thaw, of course, Clark Gregg there. We'll get to see more of him and Evelyn. Yay. We'll get to see more of him and Evelyn next week and talk about that.
I'm looking forward to that one.
See the camels and everything else. I'm looking forward to talking about it. That seems insane.
The camels, yes.
Yeah, the camels. It's funny. I don't know. I just think that's like my favorite scene.
Is
it's
that part
so
of the rooftop
funny.
cabaret?
I guess it looks like it's rooftop. It's indoors, but I guess it's supposed to be probably the rooftop because it's like a cabaret thing. There's a lot of shit going on. I'll say that.
A lot of shit going on?
There's a lot of shit going on. There's women on swings, and there's I
thought you were making reference to the camel, Jamie.
No, there's camel too. Yeah. Well, I told you the director said that it's shit everywhere. So,
yeah.
But yeah, there's a camel.
Extra for that at the rooftop.
Got it. But there's women on swings. It's like this big dinner that's going. There's a lot of stuff, and a lot of even worse. They say a lot of bad words a lot. You talk about them yelling. He yells up quite a storm there. But anyway, it shows Thaw here. He's talking about, he's in prison right now, and he's eating, it looked like it was steak or something. He's got like a crazy dinner, I guess, because he's rich in prison. I don't know. He's telling the cop here what he wants in his letter. And he is saying that, because they even say the letter is on prison letterhead. But he tells Norman that he's going to take care of Evelyn until the time comes for her to testify on his behalf, and that Evelyn's the only way out of this, he says, mess. And he's like, mess, murder, misunderstanding.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of funny. But we'll get to see more of that, of what happened next week if you don't know the history of what happened. And this is where Edison's saying you need to distance yourself from him. He's mad. And Norman here says, to play devil's advocate, that Stanford or Sanford? I have Sanford, but it's Stanford, right? Stanford. I don't know why.
Go back to the paper. It's like about 5 pictures back.
Stanford. I'm like 99% sure it's Stanford. Yeah, okay, it is Stanford. I
Stanford.
just wrote it wrong. I just wrote it wrong in my notes. That's all. But he's saying to play devil's advocate that Stanford did rape his wife. I don't know. Is it okay to say that, or is the video going to get blocked? I just realized maybe we shouldn't say that either. This is so politically correct wording here. But anyway, he did rape his wife, and he's like, well, that was a long time ago. But they kind of have this argument, or not argument, but this discussion. He's like saying that that's why, Harry murdered him, and that he starts to say, well, if it was my wife, so he's kind of condoning what he did, basically, because that was supposedly why he killed him, but we don't really know much about it yet. But his wife kind of sticks his nose in here, and is talking about it, and Edison is is being nasty to her, basically, and talks about her being bitter, and asks if she has any regrets. And maybe she calls him, I have bitter written twice. I think he calls her bitter, then she calls him bitter. She says he's a bitter, lonely little man, that he wants to placate his wrongdoings by saying that she would have been better off. So like, she's saying that he thinks, or that he wants her to say that her life would have been better had she married him. Like, he wants her to have regret for leaving him, I guess, is basically the gist of that. And she's like, how dare you? You're the liar. You stole my shit, is basically what she's saying without saying it. Except she does kind of go around in a circle and doesn't exactly say it. And Norman, who's pretty stupid, doesn't pick up on it. And basically, right? He's like, wait, what? And she's like, he's like, you should respect the man who invented the light bulb. And of course, that starts her off, because that was like the worst thing he could have said. And she's like, he did not invent the light bulb. And he's like, so and I'm sure you know who did. And she's like, she has much patience, because he clearly doesn't get it. He still, I don't think at the end of this gets it. And I wanted her to just be like, no, Norman, I invented the light bulb. He stole it. Say it. She screams and screams and runs out and gets really pissed. And I don't know. It makes me feel bad for her, too.
I think she wanted Edison to do it, but he never would.
Oh, yeah. She was definitely trying to force Edison to admit it, but that was never going to happen. So I think that it would have been better if she said something, because I think she would have embarrassed him. And I think that's what why he wanted her to apologize so bad. He doesn't want her, saying something about him, about his good name, and ruining it. And it's just, I feel bad for her, too, because even Norman, he apologizes to Edison. He's about, him having to deal with her, and Edison's like, oh, I have sympathy for you and all this. So yeah, it's awful, because he's not sticking up for his wife. To be fair, he doesn't understand why his wife's upset, but yeah, he should. But she should also tell him. She throws down the vase, breaks it, runs out. He's really pissed, because he thinks she's ruining this business deal that he thinks he's going to get with Edison. So he's really ticked off at this point. And
I thought she was gonna say Edison should clean up her mess, but then she was like, "I know it's my mess," but I thought she was just gonna leave it for him to clean up. Like, just
I would have liked
away from it.
Sorry. Yeah, because her husband tells the maids, "Don't clean it up. It's not your mess." But you're right; it's not really her mess either. Edison caused it.
Well, metaphorically, it's her mess.
Metaphorically, yeah. But
she's right in the middle of her mess.
Yeah, but she goes out and screaming. And yeah, I feel really bad for her. And oh, I know. I skipped one part. She does say, when they're talking, she says for him to look at her, and she says, like, you can't even look at me. How can you smile at me after what you did? And said something like that's when there's a flashback. I must have skipped the flashback. Sorry. She's watching them. Then she's talking to him about it, and then they're watching him. There's a flashback here somewhere. I must be way behind. Sorry. Here's the flashback. This is where she says, how can you smile after what you did to me? You make me want to take up boxing, which we know happened.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And he says, he doesn't understand why she's so upset, or something to that effect. And she's like, are you dumb? and says, a lot of things. And he's like, I was always going to add your name to the paper. You couldn't publish, you're a woman. And like, he had no freaking intention of giving her any credit. But he's trying to play it off like he didn't do anything wrong and he was only doing it to help her and, being an awful man and blaming her for what he did. And he's like, we're a team. It's our work. She's like, no, my thoughts are not communal. This is not yours. This is mine. You stole it from me and I'm not going to forgive you. I'm not going to let you get away with it. And then I love that picture because he's kind of like, not sure what to do. So after they argue for a while, he tries to calm her down. And then he gets down on his knees and
oh boy,
proposes to her. Like, really?
Oh boy.
Did you really think that was going to work? Right? Yeah, that was not.
Who's the guy sitting in the back?
I don't know. It looks like they're either drunk or listening and trying to be quiet. So they don't know it. But yeah, he proposes to her and she laughs at him and spits in his face. She'll never marry him. And yeah, I guess he thought that if he, I don't know if he just thought because she was a woman, she'd be happy if he proposed to her and that's all she'd care about. Like, really? You thought that was going to work? Like, you really are a stupid man, aren't you? That's what I felt like. Really? That was never going to work, dude. So she spits at him and she takes off. And he's just like, so doesn't know what to make of it. And
that's such like a woman.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, he's a stupid man in that scene. Let's just put it that way. And he should have known better. So in the present, she's screaming.
Yes, screaming.
More screaming. And the artist here wakes up despite kissing doggies. And he's like, shut up. And he has no clue who's screaming. And he's just like, shut up.
Well, it's also kind of like, shut up.
Yeah, shut up. It's loud and annoying. And she slaps him. And he's like, I love this picture too. Look at the dogs. They're like, huh? Like, what just happened? What's going on? Cute doggies. And she's like, you will not talk to me like that. Like, she should have said that to Edison, right? But she didn't.
Yeah.
She's saying to him. She's like, you will not talk to me like that. I will not be spoken like to like that by an artist who paints poodles. That's what
poodle painter.
What he says. And he's kind of apologizes, I guess. He seems to like her. And meanwhile, her husband rushes over, and I don't know if it's because he knows she's upset, if it's so that she doesn't say anything to the artist she shouldn't, that he doesn't want her to because he doesn't have the money to pay him. If he's afraid that she likes, I don't know the reason he comes up exactly. Maybe it's jealousy.
Because she was screaming.
Because she was screaming that too. But Lily's watching all this, and she comments to that Marius that he's rescuing her from the Frenchman, and he tells her that her husband doesn't love her. She thinks he does, and he's saying, no, that's not what it is. And because she's sleeping with him, like, why does she think he loves her? But that's what she sees. She thinks that he loves his wife. And she says something about Marion being a powerful woman and asks Marius if he's afraid of powerful women. And this is where she's complaining about Marion and saying that it's Marion's fault she can't go back to Paris. And again, he's like, you stupid girl, you're not getting it. He doesn't love her, and it's not her fault you can't leave. She hates you. If it were up to her, you'd be gone. That ain't why you're not going to Paris. And she's kind of like she doesn't get it. So clearly she doesn't understand the dynamics anymore either. But because he's trying to tell her, it's because of him you're not going, but she's not quite getting that. Because he says, for a smart girl, you're daft about the dynamics here. There he is there. And then back outside, after he has chased off Degas, the artist, he says to her that he's sorry for not understanding her, and he wishes sometimes she could simply speak the truth instead of dancing around her thoughts like a romantic. And like, hello, she pretty, what, I mean, she didn't outright say it, but it's like, you had to be pretty stupid not to get what she was saying, right?
Dancing around her thoughts by like primal screaming outside.
Yeah. But that's why I said, I wish she had just said to him, hey, he stole it. It was mine. I made the light bulb, but she didn't outright say it.
And he just thinks it's hysteria.
Yeah. But he said you can quit. You can quit screaming. You can quit the charade. He's gone. Truth doesn't matter anyway. He didn't get his deal, but he says that it doesn't matter and that she's his wife. So like he's, I guess, forgiving her, but he didn't get the deal he wanted. He didn't get the money that he needed. But I mean, I guess I appreciate that he's still like, you're still my wife is kind of what he says. And she says in the, she says she appreciates that, but in the voiceover, she says that feeling of resignation was the same feeling she's wrestled with for most of her marriage. And she tells him that there'll be other deals, but the truth was there would be no more deals for him, not ever again.
No. And
then we go to the funeral pyre there. So yeah, no more deals for Norman. Norman is about ready to bite the dust. We know from the first few minutes that he's dead. This is all going to be leading up to, it's all basically her telling the story flashback leading up to what happened. So we don't know yet what it is. And what killed him. And I'm guessing that we may not know until the 7th episode who killed him.
Probably. Yeah.
But
because she said in the very first episode, the last page of her journal is shocking. It would reveal things that would change everything.
Yeah.
What you saw. So it's definitely going to happen in the last episode.
Right. I do assume, though, that the present is going to pass up his murder at some point. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's going to lead to who the murder is, but I think that it's going to show his murder and stuff probably pretty soon. Because I don't think they can go all 7 episodes to get to that point. But we will have to wait and find out. So yeah, I don't know. I find it interesting because it's obviously some of them are real people in history, but the story isn't. And because, like, look, I don't think that, as far as I know from history, neither Edison and Degas were murderers. But I don't think that matters. I think that anybody here could have killed him. Stuff like there's something stuck in my throat. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even really have a theory yet who killed him because
neither do I.
we don't got enough information. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if his wife did, but at the same time, the way she's telling the story, it makes me think that's probably not the case.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could happen, you know. I don't know.
Maybe it'll have some kind of satire-ish comical effect where multiple people are involved.
Could be. Yeah, maybe they all murdered him. Who knows? But yeah, next episode we'll at least get the backstory on what happened with Thaw. And Evelyn will come into the picture, who's Thaw's wife, because she, as he said in that letter, he's sending her to stay with them. So that will become a thing. So yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit going to go down, both figurative and literally. No, there isn't literal shit.
Oh yeah, the camel.
There may be literal shit on the stage, but you don't see it in the show, and it ain't talked about.
What a bummer.
That was just what the director said. And as I've said before,
I thought that's what the people in the cabaret paid extra for.
maybe. But yeah. As I've said before, if you on YouTube check our video page, you can see my interview with the director and writer of the show. I guess his name is Rappaport. The interview with that is up, and the interview with Clark Gregg and Ever Anderson, who plays Thaw and Evelyn Nesbit, Harry Thaw and Evelyn Nesbit, that's up. And I still have, like I said, now that hopefully we'll be feeling well enough to get them done, I have a few more interviews that have to go up, and might still be hopefully getting another one, but I do have a few that have got to be posted, including one with Danny Houston, who plays Degas. So there's a lot to come. The artist, yes, everybody can look forward to those. And yeah, and then we'll be back next week, 9:30 Eastern. Join us for our watch party in Discord. If you're not a member, I did pin it. It should still be, I'm double checking. It should still be at the top of the chat. Yeah, there it is. Our Discord link. And you can also go there for our schedule information. I updated the schedule. Yay! I actually did that. I remembered this time.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead. What?
I said I saw it.
Oh, you saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can get updated information on all our shows and that on Discord and on YouTube. And then tomorrow, Karen and AJ and I will be back for Fandom Access, where we have the next Pluribus to talk about, as well as the finale of what the heck's the Last Frontier. I blanked there for a second. And I think we're going to be talking about the war between the land and the sea a bit. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of wondering if we should, I don't know if we should wait till the American audiences see it or not. So we'll have to discuss that. But anyone talking about
so it has different start times.
Yeah, it's not coming to Disney till sometime 2026. I'm guessing probably January, but I don't know that's the case.
It sounds like a novelist thing, because novelists were shown like a year before the U.S. showed it.
Yeah, well, Doctor Who was simulcast, but this, I guess, because of the way the deal fell through, they're not simulcasting it. I want to do a live stream on it, but neither Karen or AJ seem to really want to, and I don't know anybody else who watches it, but I might do some kind of video on it. I haven't decided yet. I really liked the first 2 episodes. I think it was really good. A little preachy, but really good. So that's coming, and then I don't know. I think we don't come back again till Thursday. And then on Thursday, that's so long, one day in between, right? And then Thursday at 9:30, you, me, and Karen have our Stranger Things. We're going to be talking about the 3rd and 4th episode on Thursday of Stranger Things. So make sure y'all tune in then. And yeah, then we start it all over again as it gets closer to the holidays. And
everything shows up on the holidays.
Yeah, and everything, right. We get more Stranger Things and more artists.
Yeah, Fallout has one on that. Like, it seems on all the holidays, like Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
I didn't know. Yeah, I gotta watch season 1. As long as I can get into it, we'll cover that too, and I have to figure out when to put it. Thanks, B. It is not fun. It makes it very hard to get anything done, that's for sure. But I am trying to get caught up. I still have tons of stuff to edit. Got a bunch yet from the new Spartacus coming to. That'll be the other thing that'll be next coming up. So everybody can look for that. Also, of course, visit scifivision.com for all of our interviews, not just the videos. And yeah, I guess I will see you guys Tuesday, and Scarlet and I together will see you guys Thursday.
Yeah.
So please make sure you come back and listen to us ramble on again. And
I think this show is good for rambling.
It is. I like it though. It's weird. It's different. It's everything. I mean, the thing is so many things nowadays are like, regurgitation of shows or kind of like, remakes and stuff. It's nice to see something unique once in a while. Yeah. It's different. Like, I don't know. It's different. That's really my best description is it different than anything else? It's quirky. I like it and I like the tone. It's just hard to describe it because it does have sort of that, I want to say black humor, but it doesn't because it's not dark, but it's sort of that weird like line of bizarre, the way the humor is.
Kind of awkward humor.
Yeah.
Awkward situational humor.
Yeah, that's a good
historical awkward situational humor.
Yes. And it's also, of course, sort of making fun of the Gilded Age and all that kind of stuff too. So it's always fun.
Yeah, it reminds me of another period. I'll probably go watch another period after this because when we used to do the Institute, I used to go through Angay's Dark Place, which was a comedy. But after this one, I like to settle down with another period because that one really pokes a lot of fun in the Gilded Age, and that one's kind of over the top as well. It's Comedy Central show.
Like I said, I've seen some of the great, but that's the extent.
Yeah. I'll highly recommend another period if you didn't already have about 10 shows on your list you want to watch beforehand.
Yeah, I already have tons of shows to catch up on, but I'll eventually have to check it out.
Plus, it seems all the ones are the ones that used to have 20, 22 episodes a season instead of just 10.
Oh, so it's a longer one too.
Yeah.
I still got so many things to catch up on, and in between I'm on my Agents of Shield rewatch too, which watching this doesn't help me not to want to watch that. It just makes me want to watch it more. So
yeah.
All righty, everybody. So make sure you check out all that stuff for the artist, like I said. And if you missed it before, Clark also did talk to me about Agents of Shield a little bit, which is awesome. Not a lot. It's a short interview, but hey, I got something in there. So yeah, make sure you all check that out. And also, I don't know if I had mentioned it before. I think we had sort of flirted with it, talked about it a little bit. We're going to be, I more talk about it offline, so I haven't talked about it a whole lot online. But we're going to be, good night. Everybody's leaving. Wait, let me tell what I have to say.
Hold on.
Wait a second. We're going to be starting a spotlight interview series where we're going to start interviewing some people from maybe some old shows, old favorites, fandom favorites and things, to kind of highlight some of our favorite stuff. Good B's not gone yet. And I'm only saying that thinking about that now because we're trying to get one of the shows we're trying to get from, and that we maybe have one person from is for Agents of Shield. So we're going to be doing some of that. And I've said before, we're looking into kind of the, our favorite shows we've covered, shows we haven't covered. I'm sure a lot of you guys would be interested in some of those things like Marvel. We're going to try for X-Files, Lost, maybe Fringe, those kind of things. And we're just getting into starting to do requests and that. So, but those will be coming soon. And the first one will be sometime after the first of the year, the Agents of Shield one. That will be coming up. It's not Clark Gregg, unfortunately. Don't go thinking that we're talking about Clark Gregg. It's not Clark Gregg. I wish it was Clark Gregg. Yes, I said X-Files B. But yeah, we're trying to get some different, fandom favorites to talk to people about the stuff we love that maybe now there's still a lot of people that like, but isn't necessarily on mainstream right now, but we can get the interview. So we're gonna, like, as Karen said, it's kind of like a throwback Thursday. I guess it kind of is. It's throwback to our favorite shows, but there'll be different editions. And yes, one of the ones we're going to be hopefully doing will be X-Files. That's probably the second thing the next one we're going to look into. And we'll kind of bounce back and forth. It's not going to be like all just one show. We'll do, different segments. But hopefully most of those will be live, and we'll let y'all know when those are coming. And then, yeah, of course, soon, hopefully we'll be back into From. I mean, we've got a little bit yet before From comes back, but hopefully that won't feel like too long before we're talking about that again. And yeah, so everybody just stay tuned for that. And as I get more information and as we get times locked down and confirmations, I'll give more information. I just kind of wanted to, to let everybody know that's where we're going. That's where we're headed in between all these other live streams as we can. All right. Well, that's the end of my notes, I guess. And I'll see you guys all again tomorrow night for Fandom Access. So make sure you tune back in. We got more Pluribus to discuss. I did go, by the way, when we were talking that night, I did go and watch it that night. I went and saw the end really quick. I wasn't going to wait. So.
Oh, what show?
Pluribus. I met that night when we were talking about it. I did go off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I watched it pretty quickly too. Because there's so many people that are covering it. And I get a lot of updates on my iPad. And if people put a plot point in there, then like I got a little teaser because I kept seeing John Cena,
Yeah, John. Yeah, John.
So I knew he was going to be in it, so that was a little bit of a spoiler. But I would have had no idea.
Really
I would have had absolutely no idea. He was the last person that would have been doing a cameo on that.
Yeah, that was funny though. But yeah, it's a weird show. It's interesting. I can't say I was super surprised by the way it turned out with what was happening, but it was cool. I enjoyed it. So, All right, guys, that's it for me. I gotta watch a screener, and then I'm going to go rest my head. And like I said, I have to get up early for my scan, so hopefully that will all go good in the morning, and hopefully it won't reveal anything. I think it's just honestly migraines and sinus issues, but I guess I'll find out for sure then. Well, once they read it, they're not going to read it instantly, but
Yeah.
find out after a little bit. It'd be nice if they read it instantly.
It doesn't like the machine spits out some, data at you instantly.
Yeah, no,
A little
unfortunately,
sheet comes out, a little piece of paper, good prints out.
no, it's not sci-fi.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, have a good night, everybody, and we will talk to you at the next one.
We're there to you.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Y'all. Night, y'all.
Yeah,
B. Sometimes they do a lot of stuff. All right. Good night. Whoops. I'm heading. Good night. Bye-bye.
Let's have it.